Hi, this is Karen Burke from RazzleDazzleInk.com. I've received a lot of questions on how I made these cards, so I thought I'd make a quick video and show you some of the products and techniques on how I use these products to make these cards. So I made 5 cards. Each one's in a different color with Stampin' Up! In colors for the new 2020 to 2022 in colors. This first one is called Just Jade. I have Magenta Madness, Bumblebee, Cinnamon Cider, and Misty Moonlight. And as you can see, I use some of the new products that are available, and I'll show you how I layered them and what products I used. So the first thing that I used are the new Stampin' and Cut embossing dies. And the ones that I used in particular are called the Many Layered Blossom dies. And what I did, what's really cool with these dies, is you get a really fine overlay die. You also receive a large, more solid background image. And then you also, in the same pack, would receive 4 dies. 2 are outline images and 2 are more solid, and these each layer on top of each other as well. So to achieve the look that I had on my cards, I ran a piece of vellum through the bottom layer, and you'll see here that'll just pop right out of the die here. This is my vellum. I'll bring in the card just to show you again. You can see that soft vellum. So that's what that piece looks like. And then I used the overlay image, and I just die cut that in some white cardstock. Now this has got some fine detail to it. You can run it through any die cutting machine and it'll work great. And you can see this will just pop right out of here. Gotta be gentle. It is very detailed. So there's my white image, and what I did is I adhered it right on top of my vellum. I do want to show you a little technique and a trick that works really great to adhere this fine layer on here. So this will just mount like this right on top of there. So in order to get the adhesive on the back of that without getting glue all over your fingers, I have the Craft silicone mat from Stampin' Up! And I also have the multi-purpose adhesive. This is liquid glue. I'm just going to put some right on top of my silicone sheet, and I have a little chunk of Stampin' sponge, and all I'm going to do is on the back side of my overlay, I'm going to dip my sponge right in that adhesive. And sponge, I need a little more adhesive than that. I'm going to sponge that right onto this overlay. And what's great is when this adhesive dries, it's not going to stick to my craft silicone sheet. And then I can just wash my sponge right in the sink, and I don't have glue all over my fingers. So now I've got adhesive on that. I'm going to just layer that right on here. Lines up beautifully. And just make sure everything's lined up, and just to press that down to adhere it. And you don't get the glue squishing out of the edges, which is really nice. And there's my adhered image. Now the colors that I used are from Stampin' Up! And you'll see they have an assortment pack of cardstock available with the new in colors. You get 4 sheets of each. And I'll just pull one out here so you can see how nice that looks on the dark cardstock. In addition, what I did is I also I have a half sheet of cardstock that 8.5 by 11 I just cut in half to make my card base. And then I took a 1/4 sheet of cardstock and I ran it through this new embossing folder that is available from Stampin' Up. It's the new Tasteful Textures embossing folder, and that gives you some nice texture. I adhered my die cut flowers down. I just put some glue dots in the back of the centers of the flowers so it would adhere it down. I also included some of the new in color gems. These coordinate beautifully with those. Those are also available from Stampin' Up. And then I heat embossed in white embossing powder my sentiment on black cardstock, and I used the coordinating stamp set called Blossoms in Bloom, and I thought this was a beautiful stamp set. It gives you a really nice watercolor look when you stamp those images, and there's a lot of versatility in the sayings that come with the stamp set as well. And you get a total of 17 stamps in this kit. So these are available. You can actually purchase the dies and the stamp set together as a bundle and save 10%, or you can purchase them individually, and you can purchase them right at my website, razzledazzleinc.com. I hope that answers the questions on how I made these cards. If you have any questions, you can certainly email me right through my website. I'd be happy to answer any questions. Thanks for watching today. I'll see you soon.